Hello, friend. Thank you for joining me. Today, I'd like to talk with you a little bit about three cons. And I'm really not talking about three convicts. I'm talking about three words that start with CON that I think play a role in the progression of our unfoldment and spiritual growth in this life. We're basically three-dimensional beings. I think you would agree. We're physical, mental, spiritual beings. And as a result, we begin with our focus really in the physical, the things that we can see, touch, weigh and measure, compare, all of this kind of thing. And so basically, the first word that we start out in is content. That our life appears to be our content, the things that surround us. And we tend to, be focused on what we can gather. Our content of a house, a car, clothing, food, relationships, our bank account, things that we can purchase to make us happy, treasures, what have you. None of that is bad by any means, but basically we start out in the realm of content, thinking that basically we are our content, and a lot of times our self-image, our self-worth, our self-esteem is tied to the quantity and the quality of content that we have around us. But eventually we get to the place where we find out that content alone is not enough, and that we have to somehow be more than our content, and that life has to be more than content alone. And we begin to seek and to search various places, and this is what I call heading into concepts. We look for ideas, beliefs, opinions, authorities to give us information, at least intellectually, that we can understand, that we can piece things together, that can potentially make us happier. And so we're learning that we move from things that we have, the content, to things that we know about intellectually, concepts. And that all helps us move along. We learn, the 5 steps to prosperous living, the 7 steps to a healthy life, the 3 steps to sexual fulfillment, whatever. All that's well and good. I don't take anything away from learning more and seeking more, and also content as well. But eventually we get to the third con, which is our spiritual dimension, which is context. That everything is meant to be put in the context of spirit and spiritual consciousness, and that you are connected with spirit. In fact, the word context it comes from the Latin, meaning to weave together, to weave together. And so as you get to that third context, the context of spiritual consciousness, where everything is put in the context of spirit, one presence, one power, one life, one energy, one intelligence, it's all really one. And we come from the gratitude of knowing that all of our content is really the result of the workings of various spiritual principles that have allowed us to manifest what we have, that have come to bless us, and that concepts really move from just knowing about to actually now experiencing them, to moving into beingness, that life is to be experienced, God is to be experienced, that there's a presence and a power that is at work. And to live from the context of that knowing is the most powerful way that we can put it all together and have it be complete. And so I share this with you in the hopes that, from time to time we should look at, well, how much am I lost in content? Content is not anything I can take with me. And how much am I lost in concepts, in terms of maybe even my ego getting lost in how much I know about. But ultimately it comes down to the text, the context of what I've been able to integrate, the context of being one with spirit, the experience of life and living, the experience of a presence and power through meditation, through prayer, through practicing the presence, to having the awareness that is growing and expanding, whereby you know that it's all one presence and power. It's all God everywhere around you, and that you are being loved by that God forward, onward, upward, into absolute love and oneness yourself. You've come here to be a light in the world. I hold that for you. I hold that for myself. I know it's a process. I know it's a gradual thing, but as we give ourselves to it, as we invite it, there's something powerful that takes place as we come from the context of remembering that first and foremost, we're a spiritual being, we're an eternal being. Love is what we are. God bless you, my friend.